Hi guys, this is Mia from Mimo Design Laser Files, and today I'll show you how to make the penguin countdown ornament and the polar bear countdown. This is not the same file, but they are so close that I decided to make the tutorial for both of them at the same time. So today I'll show you how to paint and assemble. I already painted this one, kind of. So I'll start by showing you how to assemble this, and then I'll teach you how to color fill your engraved lettering and make these effects. And I'll teach you that on the polar bear. So when you open your file, it will look something like, let's move this penguin, this. You have a bunch of layering and you have the ornament itself. The first thing you want to do, and I say this every time, is to sand it. This is a sander, it's not an iron. I was asked so many times why I iron my wood. I sand it. So you want to sand the inner side of the bagger, maybe the outer side if you want it to look nice. The back side of the front, and maybe the front, the wheel on both sides. This one is most important. The more you sand, the better it will glide. The inner part you don't want to sand, because you want this to be just a tiny bit thicker than the wheel itself. That's why I'm using staples, because it will help me lift the inner part a little bit compared to the wheel. But you could use cardstock, you could use plastic, someone uses 3M tape on both sides. So there's plenty of opportunities if you don't have the stapler. I just think the stapler is so easy. So if we start by assembling, I'm thinking that some of you might not be interested in the painting. It's done something like this, and I actually want to paint this hanger, so I'll take a metallic marker and just wipe it over. There you go. You could do it afterwards, but you might risk to get paint on the wheel itself, so I like to do it first. Place the wheel, take some glue. I use wood glue from Engraving. It's an Italian brand. I'm in Sicily, but you can get this on Amazon, I think. Add glue to the back and be very careful that you don't come too close to the edge, because you don't want to get the glue on the wheel. Then it will be stuck and you can't move it. So use the wheel to align it to the back, like that. And I'm now using my stapler, but you could add some cardstock or plastic or whatever, as I said before. This stapler I'm using is from our local hardware shop in Sicily, and I use 8mm staples since my wood is 4mm. So you want staples that are not as long as your wood, but still can pierce through the first layer. So there you go. And the staples will just lift it this tiny little bit, and that's enough for the wheel. So once that's done, add glue on the top. I'll add some on the staples as well. And usually I would only use this wood glue, but since I'm doing a tutorial, I'll add a little super glue to make it dry extra fast. So one drop there, this is very liquid, so I actually had a problem with it going through the edge, so I'll just pick this up in a hurry. This hole you want to align to the hanger, like that. And let's see if I can get my clamps. You use clamps to hold it down. Make sure it's still aligned when you place the clamps. So there you go. I'll let this dry and I'll show you how to make this effect and how to paint the penguin and the polar bear. So what should we start with? Let's start with the polar bear, because I'm thinking that I want to color fill the eyes of this one. For that, I'm using a metallic marker. You could use any, and it's pretty easy actually. It just takes a little bit of extra time. So color in the eyes. Don't worry about the paint going through the edges, because you'll be using some paints afterwards to hide this. But you want your paint to go inside all of the engraved area. These paint pens are from Amazon and were pretty cheap actually, but you can find numerous types of them. I just like these because it gives it a little extra shine since it's metallic ink markers. So, oh, the mouth maybe as well. And these are dual tips, so I have a short tip in one end and a bigger tip in the other end. Let's bring this up close so you could see. Let it dry and I'll show you what to do afterwards. So, these two files has the same, I don't know if it's actually called a tassel, but this one on top of the hat is the same on the polar bear and the penguin. So is the hat rim and so is the scarf. So if you're making both, you don't have to worry about these parts because they'll fit on both. For the penguin, I was thinking that I wanted to do the same, but after I sanded this, I'm actually thinking about keeping the penguin's head natural and just painting the rest of it. So this come off, and as said, I only sanded it, and I sanded this down a part because it's supposed to be white as well. So for the black, I'm using chalk paint from Fleur. It's a Danish brand bought in Sicily. You can use whatever you're used to working with, acrylics paint, whatever. But I just love this chalk paint because it's kind of rustic looking. And it doesn't have any shine, and I think that's great sometimes. So you want to paint below the hat rim. The hat rim will hide this, so you don't have to worry about that part. Also the scarf will be hiding this part, so I'll just paint the shoulder like that. Oh, also I might want to do the polar bear's nose. It's going to be black as well. done with the black. So my delivery guy actually came just before I started this tutorial with some new acrylic paint markers that I bought off Amazon. It contains 36 pens, but 72 colors, which is kind of cool. So I was thinking about testing these. There's 2 colors in each end. So I was actually thinking that they would be like my metallic markers are fine and a dot end, but it's 2 colors instead. So let's see if these work. I don't know yet because I haven't tested them. So for the hats I'm thinking the beak will be orange, I guess. Oh, these are nice. I'll add a link for these, I think, if I can find it. So I never mask my woods, I just painted it directly. And some markers are great at hiding the residue marks, some are not. Let's see if I want to keep this natural. I really think I will. So what hat should we give this one? Maybe, do I have a turquoise? This might work. Yeah, that's cute. That's actually a great color. There we go. And should I paint the rim the lighter color, maybe? Let's see. And I've said it before, I'm absolutely not a pro painter in any way. I'm actually quite a beginner. So I just do what I feel would look great. Sometimes it does look great and sometimes it doesn't. But that's just how it is. But I love playing around and trying new things, because then I can show you and you can either learn from my mistakes or copy the paint work I'm doing. That's nice. And I have to check up if this is called a tassel or what it is called. I'm Danish, so English isn't my native language. I'm thinking that the scarf should be the turquoise color as well. So that's the penguin, actually. That went fast. Let's just see how he looks. Oh, he's cute. That's perfect. So, penguin done. For the polar bear, I still have to paint this white and show you how to color fill. But I'm actually thinking I'll go ahead with the ornament because this one needs to dry as well. So for the penguin, let's just grab it. I color filled with my silver. I had to remember the word. Silver pen inside, but it's not as, it doesn't pop up just as I want. So I'm thinking about making this one gold instead. So what I do, these are from Lidl Lackmarker. It's probably a German brand, I suppose. I grabbed them yesterday, so I'm not sure if you can get these, but they have this, let's see if it can focus, very fine tip. That's awesome for the tiny engravings. So like I did with the eyes, I'll move it down the engraving. And these I like to kind of tap down and draw. So I'll be filling it with excess paint and kind of just moving it around inside the engraving, if that makes sense. And I'm sorry, but my nose is still dripping a little after I had the flu. But I'm feeling way better. It was a rough week though. I hope you can see this because I actually can't really see it. Maybe I should turn on my light. Let's see if this is better. Yeah, it is. As said, I'm in Sicily and we are running on winter time, so it gets dark pretty fast. And this is a step that you could skip if you don't feel like doing it. I just like to show some different techniques when I'm doing these tutorials anyway. Sometimes I'll make a product and have people asking afterwards, how did you make that and such. So I guess it's a little easier when you have a reference. I think the gold will look better than the silver, maybe. Did I get it on? There you go. So I'll let this dry before I cover it with chalk paint. But I think my polar bear is ready. So let's show you how to do these color-filled eyes. Once again, I'm using chalk paint from Fleur. You can use any. So the trick is to apply paint, but be very, very, very careful that you don't get too much on your brush. I'll be layering this, so as you see. And if you can see it, you just kind of slightly move over the eyes. Be careful you don't get your paint stuck inside the engraving. And it might look like the acrylic paint markers wasn't totally dry because it leaves these shades, but you can fix that by adding an additional layer of paint once this one is dry. But this looks so awesome because you can paint your engravings whatever color you like, instead of having them look like wood. And for the mouth I'm doing the same. Gently wipe over. Be careful you don't get paint stuck. And if you do, you just take your marker, draw the engravings again, and repaint. You can do this as many times as your engraving allows it. At some point you might have so much paint in it that you can't fill it. But this is pretty easy. So the scarf, the tassel, if that's what it's called, the head rim, and the ear. The ear I could do, this one looks great. I'm pretty amazed about these acrylic markers. I think they were around $25 or such. And I'm not affiliated with Amazon, so. Should we go red on this guy? I think so. Yeah. Oh, the scarf. Yeah, I guess that's fine. Let's use the other end. I like that these ends matches in color, kind of. So you don't have to grab all your paint pens to find matching colors. So let's see. This is not dry yet. I'll second coat it in a bit. But I think this is dry, so I could show you how to make the ornament front. So again, I'm using chalk paint. brush, and the same way like I did with the polar bear, I'll take some excess and just slightly wipe it over. Don't push, just let the brush do the work. I like the gold so much better than the silver I did on the penguin. But the beautiful part is that you could change your mind for these as well. So if I were to, I could just fill the penguin ornament with gold color instead and do this over. But I already gave it some glitter, so I'm thinking I'll just leave it as is. But there you go. This is easy. So I'll paint the bagger blue as well. This tutorial is a tiny bit longer than my usual tutorials are. So for the penguin, I don't know if you could see it, but I added some glitter, which looks so awesome. And this one is dry. When your ornament is dry, you take off the clamps and remove the lever and make sure it glides like it's supposed to. I don't know if you see the glitter I placed, but this is so gorgeous. So I'm adding that to this one too, and that's glitter finish from Fleur as well. But I could place my penguin. Oh, I forgot a detail. I want the eyes to be white. So I'll paint just this part that wasn't engraved. Like that. So once you're done, it's just a matter of gluing it on top. So again, I'm using Wienerwille wood glue. Let's hope this doesn't fall out. And there's guard lines to align it. Also, you can feel where it's supposed to go by aligning to the edge. I actually think I have to repaint this because it's too close to this color. So maybe if I do a greenish instead. See this one or this one might be cute. It's better, I think. If paint gets stuck in your scored lines, you can use a toothpick, or I have this dentist tool. I don't know if you can see it, that I use, and just scrape out the paint like that. But as long as you don't push your paint, you shouldn't get paint stuck inside the squirt. Maybe it didn't cover as well as I wanted. Okay. Oops, I forgot the top of the... You have to tell me what this one is called, because I keep saying tassel, but I don't think that's the right word. So, scarf on. And again, this should align to both the penguin and the outer side of the ornament. So assembling these aren't at all difficult. Oh, he's so cute. Let's give him a beak. If you hear someone snoring in the back, it's my dog, Zoe. I like to move the lever up to where things are supposed to align. So let's do this. When you glue this on, you want to make sure that you don't place it all the way down to the edge of the ornament. Leave it with just a tiny amount of space between. Like that. So that's the penguin. Make sure that the lever is still turning. And there you go. This is so cute. So for the polar bear, I'm thinking that I'll finish it off camera because it's not totally dry. I could maybe just finish the white so you can see it. But assembling is the same way as I just did on the penguin. So it's pretty straightforward. What takes time is the painting, but you don't have to do it like I do, or do it with so many details that I did with the color filling and such. You should all do what makes the best sense for you. And I did get a little excess paint there, so I have to color fill this again anyway. So I'll save you from spending time on seeing that. But once the polar bear is done, it will look something like just a little here. You will look something like this. Okay, scratch the here. I couldn't remove it. I might be able to just do like this. And there you have the almost finished polar bear. So that's it, guys. I hope I'll see you soon again.